Hey, hey, what's going on, guys? This is Introvert Boricua. I'm doing an impromptu stream, Humpday stream. Given the subject, I figured that it would have been more of an appropriate thing. But before that, before we get to it, anybody who's listening, you come into the chat, make sure that you hit and like and subscribe. It's gonna help me. It will help me, and it's gonna cost anybody nothing. Now, if you wanna make a donation, I do have a cash app, so you can hit me up with a little something to help me out. But if not, that's okay too. Just hit the like and subscribe, and also the bell for all notifications. Now, like I said, this is a bit of an impromptu stream. First, I'm gonna be going to the chat really quick, and as Jose said, do what he says. Just do what he says. Hit the like. Hit the like. Yeah, I saw you. I saw you. You were early. You got me a little bit late. Yeah, I see you. Hope everything is all right with you. Shout out to my guy Rakim. What's going on? Are you on the road right now? You doing your thing, I figure? Okay. Now, I'm doing this little live stream. Yeah, I figure that it's not gonna take too long, but it's just to touch on something that I find rather funny, but maybe it's because it is a generational thing. Because I'm seeing that there is all this. It's a bit of a commotion, a little bit of a thing, or some. I don't know if it's like an actual backlash that is going on with Janet Jackson, because apparently recently she was on stage and 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 there was part of a routine, which is something that she has done before. Janet Jackson has been doing that for a long time. A lot of people don't know about this. Maybe it's just the newer, younger kids that are not familiar with Janet's stage show. But this is something that she's been doing for a long time, and we're gonna go through some examples of that. So, what I'm gonna be doing is, since I see that my guy Rakim is not on the road. Hopefully, you do have a good connection. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna drop the link, and I'm gonna have you join, so we can talk about this. Because as you know, I'm not the best at talking by myself. I do need to have more of an interaction. But I'm gonna. Oh, let me see. Because I have the. Okay. Let me make sure I'm having the tab with the stream on. I don't want. You don't need to hear me twice. All right. Making sure that it's all nice and muted. All right. So I'm gonna play the video because I do have the clip of what they were talking about, and before that, because I don't like to make people wait like that, I'm gonna let out my first guest. What's going on, Don Jose?
Good evening, Ramon. First of all, thank you very much for allowing me on the platform. And good evening, Joaquin.
Yes, speaking about Rakim, I'm gonna have him join us. What's going on, guys?
Hey, shout out to my boy, the introvert Boricua, aka Ramon. What's going on with you, bro? How you been?
It's been okay. It's been good. It's just that I have been hearing about this whole notion about basically one of my favorite women in the world. So I needed to kind of like chime in on that because there is certain folks, and I think this is a generational thing that they're not used as to the style or kind of when it comes to her shows and when it comes to performances, that it can be a little daring, and they can be a little racy, and people think that this is something so new, and there are a lot of these kids that are going to these concerts and they're not used to what they're seeing, and they're being so surprised and shocked, and it shows that these are kids. These are the younger kids that they're not used to kind of like a little bit of a racy antic on stage. So I have a few examples that will prove that there is nothing new when it comes to what somebody like Janet will do. And I want to give a shout out to Irby. I see him on the chat. On the chat, what's going on, man?
Yes,
Hope
good
everything is
evening,
all right.
Irving.
Shout out
Yes,
to
yes,
Irby. Irby, what's going on with you, bro? How you doing, man?
yeah. Oh man. So aside from that, it's kind of like touching really quick on that. But I'm gonna go in a moment to the first example. I just wanna make sure that I can share this okay. Yeah, okay.
Now I know you say Janet Jackson is one of your favorite women in the world, Ramon. Now, uh, brace yourself because I don't know if my comment may be a little bit controversial, but would I
Uh-huh.
be the one to say that? Look wise, I don't know, man. I thought Janet was a little overrated coming up. I'm
Really,
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, man.
really.
I'm sorry. I know everybody loves Janet. I think Janet is, uh, I think she's attractive and I think she's an icon. But
Uh-huh.
I never thought like I never looked at Janet as like the that everybody else looked at. I loved her music, but I know everyone else loved her. Like, but yeah, that was just me though.
You grew up on Britney Spears, didn't you?
Nah, man, come on.
You grew up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody
Come
who grew up on
on.
Britney Spears. I would expect somebody who grew up on Britney Spears to say that. You grew up, yeah, yeah. That's what I think it is. You grew up on Britney Spears, and you actually think that she's better. Which is
Nah,
which
not
is which is
Britney.
laughable.
Now as a child, I did like Beyonce when I was growing up. I remember as a kid, man, my mom, we was sitting there watching videos, and my mother asked me who would I, which girl would I prefer that was my girlfriend, and I was a little shy. She was like, just show me, and then we was watching the Say My Name video, and I was like
Uh-huh.
her. 'Cause I pointed to Beyonce. You know,
Okay.
I always liked it, Beyonce. I thought Latavia, the one with the red hair, I thought she was cute too. I thought what's the other one? I can't remember her name, the original members of Destiny's Child. But yeah,
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 yeah. I,
I
I
like
like I like the very tiny one, the one that was very tiny, that was part of the original lineup.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I liked her. I thought she was mad cute. Yes, yes. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they ended up getting left out, left out of the group, which I don't think it was fair. I don't think it was fair. I really don't think that was right. So yeah, but okay, that's perfectly fine. You can have your opinion because I know that you grew up on Britney Spears, but you're saying that it was Beyonce. I mean that's and, but I know better than to believe. Okay, and you can like Beyonce. Okay, for a time I was actually following her for a time, but then again, when it comes to performance, she may have had more flair to it, but performance wise, she wasn't doing anything that Janet Jackson didn't do better. So that's
No, yeah, Janet Jackson was definitely the queen of performing. There's no
yeah.
denying that.
No, I'll be the first one to say that Janet was never had much of a voice. I mean, she could just vocalize adequately, and but there were limits to it. And she wasn't gifted like that. So yeah.
Excuse me, I just wanted to give a shout out to my cyber daughter Denise. Good evening, daughter, and Christina. Ramon, what I did was I shared your stream on my platform, so my subscribers can watch and check you out, and hopefully they'll subscribe to your channel.
Ah, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. Because apparently, I do streams at odd times, so I don't get a lot of traction. But I'm trying. So appreciate you doing that. What's going on, Tina? Hey, Denise, what's happening? You can hit the
Christina,
link if you want. Mhm.
uh, we missed you yesterday when we did the stream regarding the miss regarding Latinas.
Uh, well, I mean, I have already expressed that a little bit when it comes to the Latinos, because there is this perception that is kind of comparable comparable when it comes to being submissive. They compare them with like certain Asians, and not even Asians are that submissive. A lot of people don't know what they're talking about. They are just going by a perception versus what the reality is. And especially when it comes to Latinos that were born and raised in the United States, you know that the whole submission thing doesn't, it's not really a thing. It's, and they are born and raised in the United States, so they have the United States kind of like more liberated, modern mentality. So um, it depends on the upbringing at home, because the societal influence will tell them otherwise, right? To not be of service. I mean, yes, there is the expectation that the man is gonna be chivalrous and protector and provider, but that's the old values that were expected back in the day, and to a great degree they are still expected now. But you can't expect the old values from women to be the same as today, because they are more liberated, they are more modern. So that's kind of
Hmm.
like where we um we can have certain differences. Maybe that's where we can butt heads unless we can communicate better. Sometimes there is a communications failure, and because of that, sometimes whole relationships can go to waste because of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Irby. Michael was the breadwinner of the family, but remember, before it was Michael, it was the Jackson Five.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't just.
it's just Michael
Mhm.
happened to, yeah, he just happened to blow up out of everybody.
Yeah, okay. I just saw a girl in Argentina protesting with her tatas all naked, so I don't know how we are different. I'm lost. Well, yeah. No, I mean there is usually kind of like depending on what part of Latin America. Somebody could be more traditional than how it is today, as we know now. In a place like Argentina, I mean, I remember also seeing an Argentinian girl who was an influencer, and she was talking kind of like from a place of entitlement, when she wanted her followers to pay her way. I mean, pay her expenses. I mean, she didn't want to work. She didn't want to earn a living in Argentina. She wanted her influences, and she was crying about it on TikTok. I don't remember the name, but I do remember that it was some very modern looking girl in Argentina with big tattoos, and I think she had green hair. One of those. one of those that they look a mess and they want their TikTok followers to pay their way. They don't wanna lift a finger and earn a living. So
That's
I
that's
don't know.
crazy.
Yeah. But it was also getting in Argentina. So I guess they're falling to that influence too. And I think and Brazilians to a degree they are dealing with that. Not just because of a certain reputation for the sex tourists, but the non sex workers they can also have a more of a modern liberated mentality that could make them a bit difficult to deal with. Like the model, I think she was an influencer that she had that crazy thing going on where she was talking about that she was going to marry herself. She was one of those. She was a girl from Brazil that actually went on and quote unquote married herself. And shortly after, she divorced herself because it didn't work for her.
Excuse
I mean,
me.
yeah,
So
How the heck do you do that? How do you how do you marry yourself and divorce yourself? I don't understand.
yeah, it's a symbolic thing. It's a self-love symbolic thing where they actually do a ceremony and all of that, but it's kind of like an expression of self-love when they announce the and maybe they're doing it for attention too, but there have been you can look it up. Have been women that
it's
have.
definitely attention. That means man, you set the man, take the man out of the picture. She was insufferable. She couldn't even deal with her damn self. That's why she divorced
Yeah,
herself.
she got getting a divorce from herself. Oh shoot! At least she realized that maybe she just needed some counseling. She just needed a little help. That wasn't such a
That
great
doesn't make
idea.
any sense. I mean,
Uh-huh. Yeah, the more
but
civilized
you
country
know,
is the most
the
masculine women will be, and the more
the
feminine the
people that do
men will be.
weird things. That's why I call them circus.
What was that? That last part I didn't hear.
I said that's why it's also weird. That's why I call it the circus because people do weird things.
Hmm.
Well, here's
But
the thing with
uh
social media these days, people you'll see the most bizarrest things for attention. Actually, that's not the first woman I heard of marrying herself. It was another woman here that no, well, it was the woman here that in order to try to get her ex boyfriend back, she staged the whole wedding with a fake groom and everything. Like, and she thought that that was going to get him back, and he didn't even text her, or he had already moved on to somebody else.
mhm.
She paid for a whole groom, the wedding
Uh,
dress, the wedding
yeah.
suit, and everything. He was like, I'm sorry, I don't care. I
That's
just
because one thing is when the woman moves on and she moves on, she moves on, she moved on. But when the man is the one who moves on, there are many women that don't take it well because it's like a big blow to their ego or something because they're not used for a man to move on from them. They're usually the ones that are used to move on from a guy, move on from a man because they figure, well, I mean, I'm young, I'm pretty, I got options, so I can move on from this
would
guy,
you
and I can monkey branch. But when the instant
would
man that
would
moves on, there are women that can't take it.
would you believe there's certain women out here, and this is of course, like I said before, I have to clarify this. This is not all women. I love women, so I don't want to come off like a misogynist, but it is certain women out here. We have to understand that attention is currency, and there's certain women out here that they just want guys to speak with them just to reject them.
Oh yeah,
It's
because
women like
that's a game. That's a game that they played. I mean, they want to be able to get as much of attention so they can reject them and crush them and ego because that's fun for them. That's
now,
entertaining from
now I tell
them. I mean,
you,
that's
you
how
know,
vicious some of these women are.
Now you know
Um,
who's. I tell you who's a. She's still fairly attractive. She's a little bit on the mature side, but like she was a matchmaker. You remember the matchmaker that she kind of decided that she was going to leave the matchmaking business alone because she said women had too many high standards. Rebecca Lynn Pope. She's an attractive woman
mhm.
for her age. But I remember when she did a video when she said it was a younger gentleman who tried to come up and approach her, and he tried to talk to her, and he saw that she had a ring, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you was married." Um, I apologize or whatever. And he had walked off, and she was like, "This is what I'm talking about, man. More of this, more of this." I'm like, "Sweetheart, you married. You shouldn't even be wanting more. Nothing. You married. That should be all that you're getting from your husband, if I'm not mistaken." But like you have a lot of women that still want that attention to make them feel like they still got it. They still, can attract, you know,
Mhm.
decent looking men.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's something that is for the ego. They like to be able to see if they still got it. They shouldn't be putting themselves in a position where they could get attention from them, but there are women that are still gonna do it because they still wanna get that validation. That's kind of like temporarily what was happening with Stephen Curry's wife, or at least that's what she was thinking about when she was in that interview, and she said something along the lines that she still wanted to be able to feel desire, not necessarily desire, but she still wanted to feel like she could attract men, even though she has a whole family at home and husband, kids, and all of that. But she's still a part of her, Aisha. Her name is Aisha Curry. She still kind of wanted to be able to feel like other men noticed her at least. I mean, I'm sure she didn't mean anything bad by talking about that, but that made her look bad because she was supposed to be the image of this very wholesome, perfect wife, and then she
Yeah.
started about
Well,
that
she was faking the funk
paradise.
from the jump. She was faking the funk from
Mhm,
the jump when because remember in the beginning she was putting out tweets like, "Oh, you women need to dress, showing off your goods. I don't have to do that. I got my husband." And by the late Kevin Samuels standards, I mean, Stephen Curry is the epitome of a high value man. He's a top tier athlete, multi millions of dollars. For some women, he checked the list of being, he's a Christian man. He's a God fearing man. You got the man that every woman will, scratch, claw, and fight over. And that still wasn't enough because you still, um, yearned for, even more male attention. And as time went on, after those tweets, you saw that she had started dressing a little bit more, showing off more skin and different
mhm,
things like that. So I'm like, wow. I would think
mhm,
that Stephen Curry would be enough because that's the man all of your peers want, all of the women want. So, but
mhm.
I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dennis is saying, what's wrong with getting validated by the fact that your husband desires you about everyone else every day? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Aisha wanting kind of like validation from other guys. I mean, kind of like to feel like she still got it. I mean, thankfully and hopefully, Stephen hasn't done anything. I mean, because if he's married, then it should be him and her, obviously, I mean, if they're married. But yeah, well, guys like that, superstars like him, the, they have a lot of opportunities. I mean, they get it tossed to them a lot, if you know the opportunities, I should say. But hopefully,
Yes,
nothing
that's
has
true.
happened, and it's being rock solid and it stays solid for them. She used to criticize the Kardashians a lot. Probably cheated on her.
On
That's what she's doing
on
this
the
to get her husband's exclusive attention. back. Well, we don't know. We don't know for certain if anything like that has happened. We all know that the NBA covers up a lot of nasty stuff the players do. Okay.
I
Well,
doubt that.
maybe
I
they,
doubt that.
yeah, maybe.
Usually they
We
get
don't know.
exposed.
Mhm. That's what?
Usually, I mean, I doubt that they cover up a lot of things. Usually that stuff gets exposed. If your publicists don't catch it, you'll be out there. There go my YouTube wife right there. Shout out to
Hey,
Kate. Kate.
Good
Kitchell.
evening.
Shout out to Cashel.
My yes, my union sister.
Yes.
But yeah, they usually they get exposed with whatever they do.
Mhm.
Usually, most of the time they don't cover up anything. I mean, that we all know Michael Jordan had a gambling problem since the '90s. They don't really.
I don't think the gambling has stopped because I mean
No, he
I
never did. He never did.
I don't think he stopped with the gambling because I understand that he's still like really competitive. So I'm sure that when it comes to gambling, he might still do that here and there. I mean, he has the money to spare, so I'm sure that he still likes to go gambling and things like that. But yeah, we know that it can be very addictive and it has ruined lives. A lot of people
Absolutely.
have gone all the way broke because of that. So
Are
yeah.
you guys familiar with the basketball player Antoine Walker? You remember him? Antoine Walker. He
And
uh he played on the Celtics. He played on the Dallas Mavericks. He was actually with, if you remember basketball wise, he was actually with Evelyn Lozada first back in the
mhm.
day. He was with her, but man, Antoine Walker damn near went broke hanging with Michael Jordan, and people told him not to do it. And one time he ended up losing like $100,000. He asked Michael Jordan if he can give him 50,000. Michael Jordan's like, nah, I don't think I can do it. He was like, you knew what you was getting into hanging with me, man.
Yeah.
Nah. I was like, yeah, you shouldn't have did that, man. You should have listened to every other player tell you, man. Don't hang with Mike when it comes to that gambling.
Yeah. Because yeah. I understand that he was and still is like really competitive, and he's gonna try to take somebody's money. He's gonna try to leave somebody broke just for the satisfaction of doing it. It's not even for the money itself. It's for the thrill of winning. Because just like it was when he was playing, I mean, it wasn't really for the money that he was playing. It's for the wins. He wanted to win. He wanted the rings, titles, what came with it. It wasn't so
Well,
much about the money. He was underpaid actually, from what I
yeah, he
understand.
was. He was. Majority of the money he was getting was from his Nike contracts and different things like that. But what do you think about his relationship at this particular point with Scottie Pippen? Because now Scottie Pippen has kind of went on,
That's
a slander
unfortunate.
saying,
That's
yeah,
unfortunate. That's unfortunate because I
yeah,
mean I saw the Last Dance, and I understand that when he was with the Bulls, even though they were winning and they were winning championships and all that, Pippen was like really underpaid. I mean, he didn't have the endorsements the Michael Jordan had. So maybe it was later on when he went. I think when he went to play in Portland, I think it was maybe that I think that's when he started to get paid more decently. And he was able to get several millions, and but it was a couple of years ago when when he was talking about that in the long run LeBron James was gonna be better than Jordan, but maybe he was talking about the numbers. Maybe with statistics because LeBron has been playing for longer, so he's been able to accumulate more numbers, more stats than Jordan. But the thing is that playing almost 20 years, but he only has 4 titles. Top player in the league, but only has 4 titles. He should have more. He should have like 6 or 7 by now. I mean, because he's been to the final several times and he's lost several times. Yeah, he has won 4, but look up all the other finals that he got there only to lose. Yeah.
Sometimes people crack under pressure. Could that be the reason why he has so few titles?
Hmm. Yeah.
Shout out to my YouTube wifey, Kashelle. Go ahead, get yourself some rest, girl. Get yourself some rest.
All right. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're sharing the strings. Thanks. But if you're gonna be going to rest, then that's okay. That's okay. I will have life for you to join the panel. So that's cool. Maybe next time. Okay. Well, you said Scotty missed Larsa's mental health. Well, all I'm hearing about those two is that I mean she's making him look hella bad. I don't know about all the cheating that you're talking about.
Yeah, and his children. She making the children look bad. One of the kid is
Yeah,
on the same team
let's
with a guy that that she was sleeping with.
yeah,
That's
but
bad.
then again, she's hanging around with Kim Kardashian, so she's acting like them, and she's laying up with Michael Jordan's son. I mean, that's
That's so
insulting.
foul. That is so
That that's
foul.
that's that's fucked up.
Yeah,
That's
that is the
beyond fucked
foulest
up. I
thing.
mean, she couldn't get with someone else that nobody knows about. Maybe somebody in the league, but somebody who is from another thing or something. No, it has to be Michael Jordan's son. I mean, you're
And
not
she
gonna tell
known
me
that boy
that.
since he was a child. She known that boy since
Yeah,
he was a child.
she's
That's
known.
foul.
They have known that kid since he was a real kid, like a short little boy and all. Like what the fuck with this cougar shit? I mean, that's like fucking her nephew or something almost.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I know Scotty's embarrassed. That's why I don't know, because now he's going on the tirade saying that Michael Jordan was the worst player to play with, and I don't know if it's personal. And who knows? Maybe he had been harboring that resentment for a while, even back then. Because he wasn't getting the money that he deserved. He was definitely a top tier star. Scottie Pippen is one of the best players of all time.
Yeah,
And he didn't get the credit he deserved. Everybody always looked at Michael. Michael.
yeah.
So he had always been harboring that resentment. And I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. How could I not be in the city that I grew up in? But from what I hear, he's not the nicest person behind the scenes.
Oh, Jordan is an asshole.
Yeah,
Jordan is known for being an asshole, but he kind of have to be because
mhm.
that's he by being not a nice guy and being a jerk and an asshole, but he did push his teammates to be better, even if he had to be like the tough drill sergeant who will work his teammates and work his teammates and on training, and you can see videos of the practices when which he will be pushing them and be mean to men and yelling at them, which I'm sure it would have been very difficult to work with because he wasn't a nice guy at all. But if he was getting the results, then it's understandable that there will be because he took that team to and Phil Jackson to be able to keep Rodman under control because you know how wild he was.
Yeah,
But those days, he was all over the place and he was having some issues. He was having issues. What happened with his divorce, and that kind of like messed him up. And later he became the guy who was partying and all over the place and there were people that were skeptical about taking a chance on him because he will seem like he was unreliable to play in the team. But the Bulls did take a chance on him. Phil Jackson and Jordan, they took a chance on him. And even though he needed to go out and party and all of that and things like that, but at least they were able to always get him to the games. He will still be at the games and he will do his thing. He will play.
yeah. I think I probably got a dose of this whole rainbow stuff as a young kid because I remember when Rodman dressed up in that wedding dress when I was a kid, and I just remember
Yeah,
being
I remember.
confused. Like I was like, "What the hell is?"
That was
I
a
was like, "What
publicity
the?"
stunt. It was a publicity stunt for some book or something that he was gonna be releasing. But yeah, it was a publicity stunt. Wedding dress, makeup, wig,
Yeah,
and they had
I
him looking
remember
real mad feminine, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
because I remember us like even when we was kids. It wasn't all of these different smoke screens and all of that back then. So us as kids, we was like, "No, man, dude, you gay." You gay?
Yeah, yeah, or at least buy, at least buy. I mean, because I have heard things. I have heard things that
Um,
he will be into some buy shit. Hmm. Yeah, Don Jose.
guys, remember, we're living in the age we must let the genders flow, and that we must, there's like 55 million genders, identities that's out there.
Well, yeah, that's now. That's now, but we're talking about back then. Where
Yeah,
still it was like male and female, and somebody would be homosexual or lesbian. Those were the terms that we were still using. So it was a little
exactly.
bit more defined. It wasn't so confusing as it is now.
Do
But
you think, Ramon? Do you think that all of this gender fluidity and everything would be able to exist if it wasn't for social media?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think it will get the traction that it has gotten. I don't think it will spread as the way that it has. Now, when it came to the previous generation and when it came to um, the community, the what we will call just the gay community. I mean, they still were able to make strides. They were able to get respect. They were able to get legislation to protect them back in the day, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. I mean, we wouldn't want them to be getting attacked. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it will have been this whole promotion as it was without social media. I don't think it will have gotten the traction that it has gotten. But it's getting too confusing. It's getting too confusing, and the thing is that uh, some of these younger generations they want to really argue against you in their confusion. So you can't reason. You can't reason with somebody who's stubbornly confused and they want to stay that way. You can't do it. And the thing is that later on, I guess the counterculture is gonna be uh, conservatives, families, people trying to be more, um, trying to have more. I don't know, two-parent households, because the pendulum can swing, and there could be some pushback eventually, in which you can tell people that are pushing these agendas that bring nothing positive to society that they will be able to push back against that, because there is nothing good can come out of it. When it comes to alternate lifestyles, certain lifestyles, that's a personal thing. That is a personal thing, and I don't have a problem with that being respected. But pushing this whole notion, pushing this whole thing on other people that already know, that are already sure about the lifestyle and what what the pronoun is that they want to be used on them. There are people that are already decided on that, and another group which
Uh,
is like 5%. It's only about 5% that identifies as some type of rainbow variation. They're trying to dictate to the rest of the 95%, and that's not going to work too well.
well, speaking about that, there was a lot of pushback on the Major League Baseball when they changed the locals not only in Major League Baseball, but also many of the professional teams that changed their logos in an attempt to pacify the alphabet community. And there was a lot of pushback because, I mean, look, people want to go and watch baseball. They don't want to have to worry about who people sleep with and who people do what with. I mean, because look, when everything is said and done, you pay whatever money you pay. You want to go see a baseball game. You want to see great pitching. You want to see great hitting. You want to see great defense. You don't want to get into a culture war because Tom wants to marry with Harry, and Harry wants to do a threesome with whatever, and all that kind of crap. So I mean, so after getting a lot of pushback, both the NBA and many of the professional teams, they abandoned this whole honor to Gay Pride Month.
Hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if at least I'm positive that if I were to go to a baseball game here in Texas, if I were to go to a Rangers game, most likely it won't be
Yeah,
such a
that ain't flying.
yeah, yeah, not down here. Down here, I'm not dealing with like genderless bathrooms or restrooms. Thankfully, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. So I'm
Yeah,
grateful.
tell them to take that shit to Austin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because here Austin is kind of like the blue enclave of Texas. And if it stays in Austin, then I'm fine with it. I just don't want it to start spreading out to the rest of the state because I mean there are people that practice alternate lifestyles out here because I have seen them. I have seen them. I mean, dudes wearing makeup and wearing women's shoes because they have tiny feet like a woman. So, uh,
And we not knocking you and your choices in lifestyle, but I would
of course
prefer
not.
that you not putting it in my face and trying to force me to act like, I want that to be a part of my normal daily life, especially with children in my family or my children. No, I don't. And I don't appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think, my personal beliefs and my personal opinion is we see where the world is going when we don't have masculinity. We see where the world is going when we're like it's no space for 100% heterosexual masculine men.
Hmm.
And now we see, the direction everything is going in. Everything is so gender fluid and everybody's so confused.
You cut off. You cut off, Rakim. You can hear me. You cut off. I can't hear you.
Maybe there's a Wi-Fi problem.
Yeah, yeah. Our guy Rakim he's on the road, so that could be an issue when it comes to
Yeah,
his connection. Yeah.
yeah. Because I remember when I was in Philadelphia, I had huge Wi-Fi problems with the hotel Wi-Fi. I mean, I had to use like my hotspot, and even with that, I had a lot of problem trying to do a stream with jinky Wi-Fi. That's a big pain
Hmm.
in the you know what.
Hmm.
And, you know, that's why I call this collective the circus. Well, actually, I cannot take credit because actually it was the friend Denise that actually coined the phrase. Let the circus be the circus. And it's just that lately here on YouTube, um, in some circles, it's gone crazy. Let me just give you a perfect example. I was on Anthony Fanny's stream and I was kicked off of his platform simply because Match Malak got paranoid with me being on the platform, thinking I was going to attack her. Now I had issues with her, but my point was just to go have a discussion, join the discussion, and I can share a platform with people that I have issues with as long as we're both cordial.
Mm.
Can
Mhm.
I say something about that, Jose?
Yeah.
We all have a lot of love and respect for you, but I don't want you to take this the wrong way. But if I would give the advice to stay away from over there, I would say stay away from over there because, I mean, my personal opinion with a lot of people within that bunch is kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. And
Well, well,
you have a lot of people on YouTube. Don't matter the group, but you got a lot of people on YouTube that's looking for drama. And depending on where you at, you could get caught in the crossfire that you don't really want that.
well, one thing I look. What I have done was basically I have first of all I have blocked Anthony and Magic, from my Instagram, and they're not walking on my platform. So that's so I understand what you're coming from, and it's just that certain people will do anything just to create an audience. So believe me, I understand, and I do take your criticism very well.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, uh, you're not talking about members of the kind of like the variations, because I hear our girl Golden Goddess having to deal with a lot of drama and multi too. I mean, it's like, wow, you guys are having to deal with a lot.
Well,
Or
look,
or am I mistaken? This is another group.
okay, actually, okay. Well, I don't like to I don't like to speak on it because both of them are not here. But I'm gonna
Okay,
give
okay.
you
In that case, yeah, you don't have to touch on it. You don't have to touch on it because it
no.
was just, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I know
that's fine.
it's just that I would rather have they address it. I mean, I have my interpretation. I don't want to like
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Leave it alone.
create
Let's leave it alone.
waves, so to speak.
Hmm.
It's suffice to say that I get along both with Gigi and Multi, but everyone don't.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. There is no much else to say then. All right.
But let's talk about something happier. Like for example, it's now 197 days until the first day of winter.
No, 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 no. You're gonna be depressing me. Don't start with that. Don't start with that.
Yeah, let's get to the
To the
Janet
main,
Jackson.
yeah. Let's get to
Yeah.
the main subject because so this this doesn't extend for too long. I mean, this is the thing that a lot of people seem to be having a problem with. Let me see if I can share.
I think part of it is StreamYard because I have issues. I mean, I have issues trying to share some uh, video clips on some of my recent streams. So basically, what I have to do is just share the audio part.
Let me try this. Okay, can you guys hear? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is kind of like the kind of how the segments start, but I'm gonna kind of like, because if it's soon enough, I haven't timed it. That's not what we're talking about.
Whoa.
Yeah, those guys have to be mad gay. That's the
What?
only way they can get
Whoa.
away
Yeah,
with
you got a
doing that.
point. I was
Yeah,
like, is he
all of them have to be gay.
he he was rubbing his fingers on that sugar jar, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. Now this is the quiz in question. Now, supposedly, that has divided the fan base. I don't even see how, but it's not. I don't think it's really that big of a deal.
No, actually, Janet has done way more explicit than
Um,
that on previous tours back in the day. If you remember, she did she had footage of when she had guys tied up and she was riding the one guy and that guy looked like he was in
I got
heaven.
the
He was
photo.
like,
We can get into that. Let me go to another clip. Okay.
but yeah, that guy had his fingers all in that sugar jar.
good
I was like, wow.
Yeah. I actually, believe it or not,
good
I
evening.
didn't see the whole thing, so I did miss that part. Oh, hey, Golden G. You said that. Oh, okay. You have to record a podcast.
Yeah,
I
good
saw
evening,
something
G.
about you.
Yeah, good
You
evening,
saying
G.
something about. Okay, hold on, Jose. I did see something about you recording a podcast. I did check out your first episode. It was pretty good. I'm gonna be following your podcast. Yeah, Jose, you were saying.
Yeah, I just wanted to say good evening, Gigi. I know. I can't wait to see her latest podcast. It's going to be very certain members of the Peanut Gallery.
Hmm. All right, so
But yeah,
I'm gonna
Janet
go.
is excellent performer. You know, of course, she's a musical icon and sex symbol. Um, my uncle, man, one of my uncles used to have me dying because anytime that song came on, like if we'd be like in the car, it came on the radio. That song I get so because he was a big Janet Jackson. He a big Janet Jackson fan. He was attracted.
Yeah. So let me show you something from the 90s. So
Sorry about that.
which
Yeah,
shows that there is nothing new to this because a lot of people are being kind of like surprised by it. Let's see if I can get
yeah.
it to play properly. Now this is back in like 1994 or so. It's her on stage, and she's gonna be singing a song by herself, but she's calling the her girls, the other dancers, and they're gonna be helping her with picking out a guy. From what I understand, let me bring it a little bit forward. This is this is the thing. The dancers go and pick somebody from the crowd. They bring him to the stage. So this is all kind of like a song and a tease, and there is really nothing new to it. I really wish it was me. I really wish.
I kind of figured that.
Oh, I hate these guys.
Oh my goodness.
Hell no, I wouldn't mind.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, that was back then. She could do that back then. I don't think she could do that right now because the
Nah.
motherfucker wouldn't know how to act.
The snapping is killing me.
Yeah. look. Try to dance all, try to dance all sexy. The dude is trying too hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one. That's it. That's enough. That's enough. He was like, "That's it. That's it. That's enough." Don't get carried
All right,
away,
that's
please.
enough. That's enough. Get off the stage. You're right. Like, man, I thought she wanted me, man. What you doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And anybody will think that she could have won him. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah, that's man. I like I say, I got to give it up to Janet Jackson. She's an icon and a sex symbol, and she's been a lot of Janet's music is timeless, man. It's timeless. One of my favorite songs that she did, I don't know if it ever got the recognition it deserved, but um, one of my favorite songs she did was with Michael Jackson on the song "Scream." I used to love that video as a kid, man.
Yeah, classic, classic. That was back in 1995. I remember that very well. I'm gonna get into that to that one, Dennis. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But first, I'm gonna be playing one that is a favorite of mine. This is also a stage performance. I may not play the whole thing because I don't know. YouTube might be acting funny.
All right, I'll be right back, fellas. I gotta head downstairs. My shuttle's getting ready to come. I'll be right back.
All right,
Okay.
do your thing.
Okay, no problem.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
be. I mean, I'm gonna be going to the next clip. Now, this was in the Velvet Rope tour back in 1997, 98, or 99. It was in between those years. So I'm gonna be sharing. Let me see. Let me take this off. Okay. This is one that I really like. Now on this one, in this one, they got the guy all tied down. Yeah, yeah, but that's the thing. A lot of the kids, they just don't know. They don't know.
No.
Yeah, this is one for the kids that have never seen this. You're missing out. Now the whole concept, this whole show, you can um you can watch it in parts. It's all chopped up. Yeah, well, you can see the whole thing.
I mean, it's almost like soft-core porn.
No. Well, like a strip tease, but it's all covered. I mean, it's nothing.
It's
It's
like
nothing
almost.
vulgar.
I didn't say it is.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, sliding on a tube, but doing it with class. Such a tease. You see what I'm saying? That this isn't the first time that she kissed somebody on stage. It's not the first time. Whether the guy was actually picked out of the crowd or was a plant, because this dude could have been a plant. He could have been all staged. We'll never know because this was
true.
years ago.
Yes.
Bam, bam. Yeah. Let me get back to.
No.
All right. Let me see. I have to look away from the comments for a moment. Yeah.
Um, Ramon, you ever thought about trying to pin the link?
That's something that I'm supposed to do that when I already have the live going. I haven't mastered that, so I guess I can drop the link again while.
Actually, I've learned how to do that. Actually, what you need to do is through another device like a smartphone. Just click on the link and there's like three dots, and it gives you the option
Mhm.
to pin the link. But you need like a smartphone to do that.
Okay, because I do have
Yeah, I
the
think
I do have
it was
the screen open, but
yeah.
not. but I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing an option for that. Yeah, I will
I
have to look into
actually
that.
you
Let's
need
try and see have the
you
knowledge for that next time. Hmm.
yeah. I think it was Morana or Moonchaser that shared that information.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I will have to ask them and maybe investigate that so I can get it. Yeah, yeah. But I haven't looked into it, so I guess I can just drop it again just in case.
So now what I'm doing is I'm pinning the link to the chat. So therefore, I don't have to keep putting in the link all the time.
Yeah, yeah. No, not all the time. I don't mind. Um, uh, Irby, I understand what you're saying with that. She might have had a thing here and there done, but nothing like this IG models or this the not the Instagram, but the OnlyFans chicks that they really go overboard with all of the procedures and and they destroy themselves. They deform themselves. They just don't look good. They don't look good at all. They start looking like cats, and they start having dog lips and cat faces because they go overboard with the procedures and of course and also with the BBLs that everybody can see that they're not real because the ass is looking square because that's the shape of the implants. So of course they're not gonna look good at all.
No,
It's really not. It's really not. They really should think about it more and um they they're not thinking about it, and I know that it's not men telling them to get those procedures. I mean, yeah, sure, they can get a few likes on Instagram, but the risk that they're taking, they're risking their lives. I mean, and they're more prominent, the more um the more prominent example right now will be what happened with this girl Jackie O. She didn't need that. She didn't have to do none of that. So why did she do it? We don't know. I don't think she was pushed into it. It's just that whole competition thing. It's that whole competition that women have with each other that pushes them to to get into these procedures, and they're risking their lives, and some of them are not making it out. They're not making it. Now it turns out that the so-called doctor or surgeon wasn't even certified. He wasn't really qualified to do all of that. And unfortunately, it only came out after somebody had to pass away. Yeah. Jackie O is the girl that recently passed away. And she was the wife or significant other of one of those guys on Wilding Out, and she went to Miami to get a BBL and didn't make it because she got it apparently at a discount with some surgeon who wasn't really qualified. I understand that he was not board certified to do the procedure. So she was getting a BBL with somebody who wasn't qualified and didn't make it. Didn't make it out of surgery.
that is that is a shame.
Hmm. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now, Irby, you were saying about Janet getting a whole bunch of procedures. Yeah, there have been sayings for a long time that she removed a rib and that she that she got all of the procedures. That's why she was looking so trim with the abs, which is that's not how it works. Surgery doesn't give you abs. It's working out what gives you abs. Um, and but she did get like the nose job because her nose that's not her nose. That she did get a nose job. But maybe she had other things though, but it was so subtle that if you look at her through the years in pictures, she really doesn't look much different. Maybe she looks more different now because she is of a certain age and signs of aging are gonna show. So maybe she's gotten some Botox here and there, but if she does that in a subtle manner, I guess that's fine. I mean, she just does. It's best that she doesn't do what Madonna did because she messed it up for herself. She's looking more cat-like, if you know what I mean. I mean, maybe if she
Mm.
had done something subtle, she would have looked okay. But she kind of went overboard with the injection, so she's not looking very good.
Well, unfortunately, you have some people that they have to constantly look youth-like, and the thing is, if you just take proper care of yourself and you eat properly, you exercise regularly, you can still look youthful without going through all that plastic surgery crap.
It looks like Schmeagol now. You mean Schmeagol or Gollum? Because I know they are one in the same, those two characters, but uh, Gollum was when she had gone all the way, transformed all the way, didn't have hair anymore, and became really pale. So yeah, looking a hot mess.
Hmm. Yeah. Who is Gollum?
I don't know if you have seen the Lord of the Rings movies that came out back at the beginning of the 2000s.
No,
You never seen the Lord of the Rings? No, none of the movies. Yeah, that's
no.
a character in that. That's a character in those movies, and that's kind of like a. It's a character that, because of the possession of the ring, that transformed him into a like an obsessive, a very obsessive uh, type of character because he just wanted to get the ring back. He lost the ring and ended up losing it, and he just wanted the ring back. So
Let's
if I
go
can,
with
if
yeah.
yeah, well,
Looks like
that's
you know what, Ramon, looks like tomorrow night is going to be a busy night for streams because Don Amando's going to be doing a stream. I have a stream coming up, and so is Keisha. So it's like it's going to be a busy night for streamers
well.
on.
Apparently, it's a good thing that I'm doing mine tonight because if I didn't do it tonight, then I will have to wait until Friday. And
And
on
the problem
Friday,
is,
a lot of people were gonna do their thing too.
and the problem is, I have a stream scheduled for Friday as well.
Okay, how about it? Do your thing.
Yeah. So actually, so I'm going to be dealing with the crap that what Fresh and Fit did regarding Apple and Peach, and we're not calling them monkeys. So I'm going to be doing my interpretation of the fiasco, so to speak.
Um, well, I don't know if that's something that is for us to opine on. It's kind of like what I was telling um, Rakim because there are on one side there is Fresh and Fit, particularly Fresh. He was the one who was doing all the noise, making all the noise, and talking a lot, all of the racial stuff, and but then they were going against. These were two non-black Americans going against two non-black Americans from Canada. So, and I was telling him, look, black Americans, Afro Americans should stay out of it. That has nothing to do with you. But then again, that was kind of like the recommendation. And so it's like, let me see if I can share with you an image since you have never seen Golem from what you're telling me. If I can get you to see this. If you can you see on the right part of the screen? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a character in
Yes.
a in in the Lord of the Rings movies. Now, recently they came up with a video game, but apparently it was a failure. A lot of people didn't like it. I haven't played it. I don't really play games like that anymore, so I can't tell you what was that about. What was the problem with that? So that's that's the infamous Gollum. It's an important character in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So if you have a chance to check out those movies, then yeah, I recommend it because
Okay.
those are really good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, when I have time, I'll take a look.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, actually, I don't know if you're aware, but there's this person. Just give me a moment. Cornel West is planning to run as a third-party candidate for president of the United States.
As an independent character, a candidate.
Yes, of
Okay.
the I think yeah. So I plan to do a stream on that next week. I'm just trying to figure out
Hmm.
what day of the week to do it, and just to share with the audience who he is and what he hopes to achieve. Um, Now, he's going to have a hard time as a third party candidate because, first of all, it does take a lot of money to run a campaign or have have the right, like an army of volunteers and whatnot. And really, the last time any third party candidate got a decent amount of electoral votes was in 1968 when I think was it George Wallace, the segregated candidate, was running for president back in 1968.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Dennis is saying that he's actually running for the People's Party, so he's not
Yeah.
running as an independent.
Okay, but isn't the People's Party an independent, a third party though? That's my understanding.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
it's a
wrong.
third party. It's a third party. Was more saying it to me because one assumes that either he's running for the Green Party, that is kind of like more of an independent, and but if it is for the People's Party, then yeah, it's another party. Maybe they won't have much of a chance, but yeah, if he's running for a different for a different party, and it has a different platform, has a real platform, and has an idea of what to do, then yeah, why not? Let him run. He's an
Yeah.
intellectual, but hopefully he can present a platform that makes sense.
Well, my understanding that he's very well known regard in as far as progressive circles.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's my understanding. And look what Denise put down. That was the last time American used their brain. Wow.
Well, that was kind of like culminating with the not just the whole thing, the anti-war protests. I mean, kind of flower power, and the thing about the '60s uh, that were very.
Yeah.
It was a particular time in the country's history, the
Yeah.
1960s.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people just remember that.
Yes.
Remember the
So I'll
the,
probably
the moon
do it
landing,
either
if
on
if
a
it was a
Tuesday
thing.
night or
Huh?
Thursday. So that's when I plan to do it. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if Denise will be available to share her insight, because she is a parent, and parents are very busy, doing parent thing. So
Okay.
yeah, you know what? 1968 was a crazy. I mean, first of all, you had you have like violent protests in the Democratic National Convention. You had people that were protesting against the war in Vietnam. That was the middle of the '60s with the hippie movement and flower power and all that. So it was like a very volatile time.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
So I think I think it'll be an interesting strain. We'll see, but I'm troubled with the fact that um, we have people that like almost 80 years old trying to become president or be get reelected. I mean, I'm sorry, but Joe Biden sounds like look like he's suffering from Alzheimer's. I mean, wow.
Well, you could say the same about Dianne Feinstein. It's just that they have been so long in power that they don't want to let it go.
That's
They don't
true.
want to let. Yeah, they don't want to let it go. I mean, they have been trying to stay in power. He was already in Congress at the time that I was born. I'm in my 40s now. He was already in government when I was born. So imagine he's been so long at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was born during the '60s, and in fact, the year I was born, we was going through the Cuban Missile Crisis, and for a minute, we thought people thought that was going to have World War III.
Hmm. Yeah.
Could you imagine if Trump was the president of the United States during the Cuban Missile Crisis?
I don't know. No, I don't want to imagine. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it
Yes, it
wasn't just
was.
MLK. It
Yes,
was
it was.
it wasn't just MLK. Hang on, it wasn't just MLK. It was Malcolm X, JFK, Robert, his brother Robert. All of them got killed
Yes.
around that period of time. So it was definitely bloody.
Hmm. Yeah, it was it was a crazy time. Also, it's like a time of rebellion, so to speak.
What's that?
Um, a time of rebellion, so to speak, because like they were rebelling regarding the norms that that their parents were taught.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's just it's amazing how things change in the last 60 years.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, on a happier note, this Sunday is the National Puerto Day Parade.
Eventually, I want to be able to make a presence there. I mean, eventually, I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I remember talking about that with mom about going to see it, but she was the one who was like, "Nah, I don't want to go." Yeah, like, nah. But I would like to see it. I would like to see it at least once.
Yeah.
See how it is like.
Well, you know what I like to experience one time, watching the ball drop on New Year's Eve.
Don't start. No, 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 no. No, no, in the middle of that cold. No, no. I'm not interested.
Think about it. Think about it. You're with thousands of people, and you're waiting in anticipation to see the ball drop, and the countdown, and then it goes down to the new year, and then people hug and kiss each other. Isn't that wonderful?
No, 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 no. All that German exchange. Not interested. Hmm.
Um, one year I gotta go. I gotta live that experience myself, particularly when the weather is nice and cool.
And you haven't done that yet? All these years in New York, and you haven't done that?
No,
No, that's the thing,
in
Irby,
fact,
with Jose. Irby.
last year
He's
was the
always
first time I actually went to the.
that's the thing with Jose. He always wants people to feel cold. I mean, it's the middle of summer. Let's enjoy summer. Don't mess it up for us. You with your obsession with the cold. I can't with you.
Not cold,
Hmm.
comfortable.
No, no, cold. You want freezing cold. That's not healthy.
Uh, Well, we haven't had winter in New York in years.
Yeah. Okay. You keep telling you keep saying that. I mean, just a few, just a couple of months ago, there were snowfalls all up in New York. You keep saying that you haven't had winter up there. Stop. Don't give me that.
That was in Syracuse. That was in upstate New York. We haven't had one
Uh,
good day when the temperature reached zero.
okay. Right. Right.
Could you
And
imagine if I had complete climate control of the weather worldwide? Um, just
mhm.
think about it. I can make Puerto Rico a winter wonderland.
No, no, no. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Mm.
I mean, but you know what? I will be a benevolent dictator.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Yeah.
I will. First of all, the temperature will never get below 20, below the zero, and I will allow one day out of the year when it reach 85. You know what? I'm being extremely generous. One day out of the year when it reaches 90.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah.
No, no. I'm gonna keep enjoying this summer,
But
this nice warm weather. That's how I like it. That's how it should stay year round, ideally. But unfortunately, we can't have it like that here in the States. So I'll enjoy it while it lasts. So with that said, Don Jose, I have to start wrapping up because I do have a long day tomorrow. So I wanted to know if there were
okay.
some final thoughts or final remarks that you wanted to share before I end the broadcast.
Well, first of all, as always, thank you very much for modeling on the platform on your platform, and I just want to
Hmm.
encourage everyone to please support Follow Boricua, subscribe, and check out his content. Look, the fact of the matter is, when it comes to all these performers, the whole thing is they want to create attention. So the more bizarre, the more attention they're going to get. That's nothing new. That's something. When you think about it, going back to the times of ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, they have all sorts of different spectacles with animals and gliders and whatnot. So this is nothing new. So that being said, just want to say thank you very much, and shout out to everyone that's on that's on the chat, and have a good night, and until the next time.
Thank you, Jose. It's greatly appreciated that you joined me on the panel. And also, with that say, to everybody that have been listening and the panelists, Jose, Rakim, I figured that he's been detained. He couldn't come back to the stream, but I still appreciate that he was able to come up. And with that said, the only thing that I can figure is that appreciate to the appreciate to the audience, everybody that have been listening. Hit the like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on next on what gonna be the next stream. And with that said, this is Introvert Boricua signing off, and until next time, have a good one.
Peace, people.
Peace.